Now we are here with Maurice White, who is running for Ward 2 Supervisor. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you today?
Good. Thank you for being here. So tell us a little bit about you. What's your background? What are your hobbies?
Alrighty. Well, the hobbies are easy.
Perfect. That's the
I go
funnest
fishing,
question, right?
and I like to fish, and then the politics.
All right. That's
So my background is Carson City is my hometown. I've been here my entire life, other than when I went to other communities to go to school.
Right.
I'm a retired diesel mechanic. I've worked in the agrarian, transportation, and construction fields. I have held those jobs from entry level to management positions, and that's really what I did in my professional life. Prior to that, of course, high school and younger age, I've worked every kind of job you could imagine. Much like most people. So, growing up here, there was always the casino work. I've worked as a gardener and general maintenance person on a fairly substantial estate down in the Carson Valley. Worked on golf courses, so I have a pretty well-rounded background.
Right. Yes.
I've worked with all sorts of different people, collaborating to accomplish what needed to be done for the business.
Absolutely.
And so that's my background.
Awesome. Well, thank you. What was your first job ever? Do you remember?
My very first job was that job on the estate down in Carson Valley.
Oh, okay.
Working as a gardener and general maintenance. A few years before that is kind of when I got my start in the automotive field. When I was 12 years old, that was the first time I earned any real money fixing a car that belonged to a friend of my father. So
nice.
I've been at that ever since.
That's awesome. So what inspired you to run for supervisor?
So I have been politically aware my entire life. I have always had that sense that how the government operates is incredibly important to our everyday life.
Absolutely.
And when I retired about 12 years ago, I discovered that you simply can't fish every day. A couple of years of traveling pretty extensively, it's real nice to be at home. And I just saw some things that I thought I could bring some of my assets to the table and help this community stay on track to be a place where families really want to be. That's how a community grows. Where families are, businesses come.
Yeah.
And I think with my background, the people that I've worked with in the past, I think I have the skills to collaborate with staff and community stakeholders to get us to a place where we have policies that promote this community.
Absolutely. Well, when we come back from the break, we're going to hear a little more. We'll be right back.
Most cancer treatment centers will tell you all about how they fight cancer. At Carson Tahoe, we believe in telling you a different kind of story. One focused on not only how we fight, but why. To give support, to provide expertise and resources, to bring peace of mind, to create hope, and to be a true partner in your health. Quite simply, Carson Tahoe delivers the highest standard of complete cancer care in one convenient location. With nationally acclaimed cancer programs, state-of-the-art treatment, and a specialized team dedicated to healing mind, body, and soul. Together, we're taking on cancer, one patient at a time. Carson Tahoe Cancer Center, an affiliate of Huntsman Cancer Institute at the University of Utah. Here's to your health.
Communities across the country are facing unprecedented challenges due to the coronavirus. millions of Americans are losing jobs as businesses struggle to generate revenue. The majority still working are doing so from home. As history has shown with previous crises, we will pull through this together. Our career centers are here to help you prepare now for the eventual economic turnaround. With a large portion of our community expected to be home for the next several months, we are extending access to the Skill Up program to our unemployed residents and local employers. Skill Up offers the opportunity to update your existing job skills, learn new skills, and even pursue an industry-recognized certification as you prepare to head back to work. The program provides access to over 5,000 courses, training for over 100 certifications, and is accessible from anywhere with internet access 24/7. If you're interested, please visit this site for more information.
We're back with Maurice White, who is running for Ward 2 Supervisor. So our first question, how should the city support in the recovery of the pandemic in Carson City specifically?
I think there's a couple of aspects to that situation. So you have the business side and you have the private citizen side.
Right.
First, I don't think it's really appropriate to have any sacrificial lambs or sacred cows. This is going to be an evolving situation. Staff does not yet even have the tax reports for the first 2 weeks of this situation that we're in.
Right.
I know I've seen the numbers that come out of the airport in Reno, and April was pretty flat on everything at the airport except for cargo. That tells us that the economy still is at least chugging along. I think on the business side, what the city has to do is collaborate with the businesses to see what the opinion of the business leaders are, to find where there might be some relief. And I think we can look at things like waiving fees, relaxing some of the regulations. For instance, can restaurants effectively move a portion of their operation out on the sidewalks where it's not ordinarily acceptable?
Right.
I think we can do some of those sort of things on a temporary basis. On the private citizen side, I don't see a whole lot of openings for the city to do anything there. So again, let's go back to the citizens. Let's have some conversations. Let's collaborate with all of the stakeholders involved, keeping in mind that so much of what the city has to do is constrained by laws and regulations out of our control. So we're going to have to find that balance in a quickly moving, changing scenario.
Well, this question kind of correlates to what you were saying. Will the business equipment, assets, and personal property tax be adjusted during this economic crisis due to COVID-19 to help those businesses get back on their feet?
So those tax rates have already been set. The city has no opportunity to adjust those. So if that's something of that nature were to take place, I think that comes from the legislature.
All right. So what are your top 3 priorities coming into office?
So my top 3 priorities really are only 2. That's the health and safety issues that our businesses, our residents, and our visitors expect our city to provide. And I think we get to that through the asset management plan that is very close to being fully online.
Right.
I look towards getting into that priority phase of that, because all of the data has really been compiled right now. So now it's a matter of finding funding, setting priorities. And the other part of your question really was there, what am I going to focus on changing day one? Anybody who thinks they're going to make changes on day one has lost their mind. As much as I have been in contact with city staff over the last 10 years, attending meetings and being on committees and stuff, there's going to be a learning curve for anybody that moves into that position. So It's a matter of getting in there and creating those relationships, having those conversations, and finding out what's the reality of whatever situation you want to talk about, because no matter how much you think you're informed on the outside, there's a different story from the inside.
Well, thank you. Where can everyone go to find more information about your campaign?
So I am on Facebook only at this point, so you can find me at Maurice for Ward 2, and you can always call my phone, 775-297-6484.
Perfect. Well, thank you for taking the time to chat with us
bet.
this
Thanks
morning.
Thank you for having me in. I
Yes, of
appreciate the
course.
opportunity.